What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm here to do my breakdown of the promo for The Walking Dead Season 9 Episode 8, the mid-season finale. I'm going to be looking at the promo, breaking it down, talking about the whispers and all that kind of stuff. So I will say spoiler warning in case you haven't been caught up with The Walking Dead. But other than that, let's get started. So this beginning part of the trailer where we see Aaron, Jesus, and DARYL looking at some walkers mixed with whispers because they're noticing some weird, unusual behavior. I talked about that in a separate video because I do believe this walker or slash whisper I should say is alpha, and I talked more about that in the video on my channel earlier today if you want to go check that out. But I do believe this is alpha for a number of reasons. I mean, it's clearly a whisper because she just stops and starts like listening, so it's definitely a whisper. But I want to talk about the big thing that's happening in this episode pertaining to Eugene, Jesus, DARYL, and Aaron, because it looks like they're all gonna be running away from whispers and shit is gonna get creepy. And as you can see here, we have the group like running away from the walkers because they're just probably getting creeped out because they're hearing whispering, and I can't wait to see that. But we have Eugene here saying that this wasn't a normal herd, it's following me, or it's looking for me. And I love that line of dialogue right there. And I believe this is at the barn or whatever, because at the end of last episode, Rosita said that Eugene is at a barn. So he was injured, so obviously he couldn't make it back. So that's when Jesus, Aaron, and DARYL, they go look for Eugene. And that's, I think, is going to be like the main thing in this episode. They're probably going to be running away from the whisperers, and they're going to go to this house right here that we see. At first, I was thinking that they would go back to the hilltop, and that's where the big reveal was going to happen. But I guess not. But I do think the hilltoppers will still have to deal with the whisperers, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But this is the house that I'm talking about because it looks like they are going to go hide here or something, but obviously the whisperers are following them. And then this is the creepy shot of, I believe this is Alpha. I mean, I could totally be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 80% sure this is Alpha, just because of what she's wearing, very similar to the comics. And this is like in the house because these are some gates here. And this is like a scary movie right here. Like they're gonna be running into like an empty house, and like the whispers are coming and creeping up on them. Like this is definitely gonna be like, I think, one of the scariest episodes of The Walking Dead ever. And then we have Jesus and Aaron here fighting some walkers. Now I'm gonna get a bit into the comics, nothing too crazy, but just in case you don't want to know anything about the comics, I know some people that just like watching the TV show that they don't want to know what's coming. I totally get it, and if you're one of those people, I will say spoiler warning for the comics, nothing too crazy. But in the comics, the Whispers do carry knives, and something similar happens here where we have people fighting the walkers. They think they're walkers, just like it's happening here, but it turns out to be Whispers. And as you can see here, we have Jesus, Aaron, and Eugene, and since these characters are the ones running away from the Whispers, and it is the mid-season finale, I do think it's going to be a huge thing where when they are fighting the walkers, there's probably going to be like a whisper or something in there, and it's going to stab one of them. Now, I don't know if one of them is going to die or what, because it is the mid-season finale. The Walking Dead loves killing off characters in the finales and mid-season finales and stuff like that, especially mid-season finales. But I do think this is going to be that big moment from the comics where somebody gets stabbed by a whisper, and that's going to be really crazy for television, and I think viewers are going to love it. It's going to be scary. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see it. Now, this is creepy as hell. We have DARYL here, and he looks like he's hiding over something. I'm pretty sure this is like they're going to go to like a house or something, like a random house, and I think that's going to make it even more scary. But DARYL is looking over the wall, and he sees all the whispers, and we hear them saying, "Keep them together." And based on the look DARYL has, like, he looks terrified, and I'm pretty sure he can hear them. And the fact that characters like DARYL and Rosita, you know, characters like those characters who don't really get scared, who are always like, you know, brave and stuff, seeing characters like that get scared over the whispers makes it so much more better. So I do think this main whisper right here, who I'm thinking is Alpha, she's gonna be going after DARYL in the group. DARYL, Aaron, Jesus, and Eugene. At first I was thinking she would go to the hilltop, but now I'm thinking it's gonna be like a different group of whispers going to the hilltop, because if you remember at the end close to the end of last episode, when they were going to the hilltop, the character Connie, she noticed something in the woods, and something was like spying on them. So I do think there's other whispers that the Hilltoppers are gonna deal with this episode. Again, I'm gonna get a little bit into the comics now of who I think that character was spying on them, Michonne and Magnus group. I think it was Lydia. Now the reason I think it was Lydia is because in the comics, Lydia does have a connection with Hilltop. She gets captured and gets taken to Hilltop and held captive there because they want to see like what's going on, who is she, why is she wearing a walker mask, and this and that. And that's what ultimately leads Alpha to come to, because Alpha captures some of the Hilltoppers, and then they come together to the Hilltop and they do a trade. So Alpha going after Jesus and Aaron and Daryl and them, there's 4 characters there, so maybe some of them gets captured, maybe all of them gets captured, maybe some of them die, I don't know. But it does look like Alpha is going after that group. Maybe she captures one of them. And then since since Michonne and Magnus' group were headed towards Hilltop last episode, I do think Lydia is close to Hilltop. So when they go exploring or something, they are gonna run into Lydia. And also Henry is at the Hilltop, and Henry, as we know, is taking Carl's storyline. So they're gonna be in a relationship. So that, I mean, I do think Lydia is gonna be going to the Hilltop, I think, no matter what. But the reason I think it's gonna happen next episode is because of that setup in episode 7 of somebody spying on them through the woods while they're heading to Hilltop. So she is relatively close to Hilltop. So what I think is going to be happening is they're probably going to send people out, because it looks like Eugene, Daryl, Aaron, and Jesus, they're probably going to get stuck and not be able to make it back to Hilltop. That's why they go to that house, because they want to probably stay the night there or something. And then they're going to send people out to go look for them, and then they're going to run into Lydia, I believe. But this episode looks really great, and I'm very, very excited for it. And I really hope they do something huge at the end of the episode. At first, I was thinking they were going to do like an alpha reveal, but now they probably want to save that when she goes to Hilltop. But I was thinking she was going to go to Hilltop this episode, but now it looks like the groups are divided, so they're not. But I do think what would be an epic cliffhanger is if they do that Lydia thing, because that would align more with the comics. Like the ending shot or something would be capturing Lydia and then taking off the mask, which reveals that there's a person underneath there. I think that would be a really cool cliffhanger that would make fans want more, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But I am gonna leave it off there because I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. So leave your thoughts, leave your opinions, leave your predictions and theories, and I'd love to hear from you. And what do you want to see in this mid-season finale for Season 9. And hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. For more Walking Dead content like this, be sure to subscribe for daily videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.